here is the body cam footage that I want to show you guys, right? This is really interesting. Okay, I may have to play this twice because it is so fucking crazy. It's only 3 minutes and 6 seconds. And you can see where it's going to start because you can see the caption here is I'm transgender non-binary. So yeah, this is where we're starting. And this is him being arrested by a police officer. This is not the full, so Midnight's Edge, this is not the full one. It's just a snippet. It's just a snippet. But it tells you what I need to know and what I want to tell you about the legal standard we're talking about here and about the type of person that does this, the type of person that makes these claims and tries to use them as a shield. Remember that famous quote from the Amber Heard case. The famous quote is Amber Heard used her gender and the sexual assault accusations as a sword and a shield. So she protects herself with her gender and accusing, crying sexual abuse and domestic abuse. She protects herself from accusations while attacking Johnny. Ezra Miller, and we'll see here, is doing very, very much the same thing. And yes, this does have the NFT line. Sweetheart says, it shouldn't matter the gender of the cop searching him if he's non-binary. Well, that's what I would say, right? That's what I would say. We'll talk about this. Let's play this. I want you guys to see this, and we're going to talk about this fucking shit show, crazy town mess that is Ezra Miller. Let's just play this through.
I'm not transgender, non-binary. I don't want to be searched by a man. I'm transgender, non-binary, and I don't want to be searched by a man. I claim my Fourth Amendment rights.
No. I got assaulted and I started filming. Okay. Let's show you the video.
Let's talk stories outside.
Let's talk stories outside.
And Ezra Miller, this is on the warrants, but he's caution code unstable 29 Caucasian Hill.
I got assaulted in this bar twice in a row. I film myself when I get assaulted for NFT crypto art. What's your name? What's your badge number? Tell me your name and your badge number. White key.
Ezra.
Full name, full badge number.
Control 131.
I'm being arrested for disorderly conduct?
Yeah.
Okay. I was assaulted, you understand, right?
Okay.
Well, you could have told us that instead of running away and playing all of these theatrics. You could have just told us that.
I'm sorry,
No, you're not
officer.
sorry. You could have took this thing
sorry.
real quick. But
I
no,
am sorry.
you wanted to play the game.
I was
and now-
complying.
Well, you wasn't complying.
I was. You said get off the road. I got off the road.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you
I
didn't.
walked on the edge of the road.
Central 131-150.
What did I do wrong?
So much here, guys. We're going to break it down.
A guy in that bar declared himself as a Nazi. I have it on film, and he attacked me.
Okay.
I claim my Ninth Amendment rights to not be unlawfully persecuted for a crime of no designation, disorderly conduct being something I am unguilty of. I claim my Fourth Amendment rights to not be searched and seized on no probable cause that you will not be able to offer in a court of law. I claim my Fourth Amendment rights to not be unlawful. Hey, you just touched my penis. Please don't do that. I'm not transgender, non-binary. I don't want to be searched by a man. I'm transgender, non-binary, and I don't want to be searched by a man. I claim my Fourth Amendment rights. Those are Nerf guns, just in case you worry that they're bullets. Those are Nerf bullets.
Thank you for letting
They
me.
are fake and they are a toy.
Thank you for letting
This is my belt buckle and my Nerf bullets.
I appreciate that.
Please don't take them from me.
I have nerve damage from police handcuffs. From my life in New Jersey. I know y'all are not those cops, but please do not damage my nerves and my hands again. It'd be really, really awful. I'm sorry. I'm not a sir. I'm transgender, non-binary. Please don't refer me as sir. It's not a minute right here.
Okay. I was just trying to be
You
respectful.
failed to do that again. That is an act of intentional bigotry and technical hate crime according to U.S. federal law.
Okay, guys, don't worry. I'm going to break down every single one of these like missed sites of the law. There are so many things in here. There are so many things in here. I just want to let you guys see it all. So I'm going to continue to play this, but this is so bad. Like he doesn't understand the law, but I want to break that. I'm going to break down so many things in this, but let's just play to the end here.
Please call me they, them, theirs. You can use the term mix. Or
Is your body cam still on?
Yeah, sit down.
Would you make sure it's on?
Yeah, it's on.
Please don't touch any of it. It's all sacred religious material. None of it is illegal in any capacity. I really appreciate if you didn't touch it. It's all from my religion, Judaism.
All right. So let's just start here. Let's start here. And by the way, Daniel says, if you don't identify with anything, what's the difference does it make of who's searching you? If I were him, I'd identify as innocent. Yeah, you might as well, right? You might as well identify as innocent or an Apache helicopter or all sorts of stuff. Man, guys, there's so much to break down in here. And when I saw this, I was like, I've got to go bit by bit and break down every crazy fucking thing he says here. Okay? Like, there's so much. There's so much. But yes, it does not matter who's searching you. That's a made up thing. That's just some bullshit, right? Now, generally, if it is a female, they'll usually have a female officer search, but that doesn't guarantee you the right to be searched only and exclusively by a female, particularly if there's an issue of officer safety. It's gonna be whoever searches you searches you. That just is what it is. Like TSA does it as a courtesy, right? Like they'll give you the pat down. If you're a woman, they'll have a woman do it. But if there's an issue of safety, especially of public safety, yeah, that shit's going out the window, right? That's going out the window real quick. That's not an entitlement. Nobody has an entitlement to that, regardless. Although we will talk about, and I will get to at the end, what happens if the laws change. If the laws change, because there are laws out there that they want to pass that could make us take everything that Ezra just said completely seriously. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in 1 second. Daniel says he's identifying as an ant who smokes 3 packs a day. That is also very, very, very true. Okay, so once again, you're not entitled to be searched by anybody specifically, particularly a man. Now, here's the thing. When you're arrested, right? When you're arrested, he's talking about 4th Amendment rights, 9th Amendment rights. Like, oh, yeah, sorry, in the NFT crypto art. I film myself when I get assaulted for NFT crypto art. Well, I hope that he has permission in that state. Now, I don't know Hawaiian law and whether it's a 2-party consent law or single-party consent, but honestly, if he's selling art based on his assaults, I mean, if he's assaulted enough to sell stuff as art, I hope he's getting permission from that. Also, monetizing that could open him up to some particular legal action. It's pretty crazy. Midnight Edge is saying this is one from his recent arrest almost a month ago. Yeah. So these are pretty recent. I mean, you can even see on the top 3/28, 2022. So these are pretty recent. So yeah, if you're filming somebody and you're selling it for NFT crypto art, that's going to be some potential civil liability there. Let me just put that some way. Okay, asking for the name and the badge number. Okay, yes, you can do that, right? You can do that. And there is some legitimate interest in saying that. However, you can't fight a cop over that. You can't pull away from a cop because of that. You can't punch a cop because of that. You can't push a cop because of that. Because they haven't told you your name or their badge number. You don't have the option to fight a cop to resist arrest. Here's one thing that everybody should know, and this will help you with cops, is they really do not like and do not take well. And by the way, I'm talking about U.S. cops. I understand. Shout out to my Australians, my New Zealanders, my UK crew, South Africa. I understand that your cops aren't as intense as our cops in most cases. That's from what I've been told. Guys, if you're abroad and you think the cops are worse than the U.S. cops, let me know. But everything I've heard and everything I've experienced abroad seems to indicate that in America, our cops are a little bit more intense than they are abroad. That's my take here. Tell me if you guys think I'm wrong. My Aussies, my Kiwis, if you guys think I'm wrong, if your cops are douchebags, let us know. And yeah, it comes off as a dick move to ask as the badge number and the name, but you're entitled to do that. You can do that. Sweetheart says NY street cops are the worst. Yeah, NY cops. The thing with NY cops too is they often blow past the crime scenes because they really are afraid of engaging nowadays. So you gotta not resist arrest. They do not like that. They do not like that. And if you push, kick, or spit, and in his case, I believe he spit on a cop. That is technically even spitting. Spitting can be resisting an LEO or can be assaulting an LEO if you're spitting on a cop. So don't do that, right? You can calmly assert your rights, but the best right you have is to remain silent and call a lawyer. right? Best rights you have. I'm just going to tell you right now. Don't say shit and call a lawyer. That's pretty much it. Just literally the two things you can do. Don't say anything. Shut up. Don't say a damn thing. Everything will be used against you and call a lawyer. Don't try to be there being a, Fourth Amendment lawyer here as you're pushed up against the side of a car, right? So once again, they give him a lot of shit here for not complying. If you just comply, typically it goes a little bit easier, right? So he's up against the car and he's trying to push all these kind of comments. I'm being unlawfully prosecuted. I have a search. I have rights against search. You guys don't have probable cause. Well, guess what? If they stopped you, they think they have probable cause, and that's enough, right? They're not going to say, oh, no, you said the magical words. You said probable cause. That means we've got to back off now. No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to back off. They're going to keep doing what they are supposed to be doing. They have probable cause to believe you committed a crime. Just because you say the magical words, I don't believe you have probable cause. That's not going to do anything. Like I said, the best right here would have been for him to stay silent and for him to, contact a lawyer. And I guarantee you, by the way, he's got a lawyer. I guarantee you he's got a lawyer. Okay. The thing about the officer searching him and touching his penis. First of all, the officers, just so it's aware, if there's an issue of officer safety or a concern about officer safety, if they think you've got a gun in your butt crack, they're allowed to search that shit. So don't think that because, ladies, you stick a knife between your tatas, you can't say, hey, don't touch my titties, right? That's not going to work. Officers, if they're there, they're going to search you. If they have reason to believe, or they, suspect there's something there, they can search you. This is an officer safety issue. They're going to search you, right? And you're not going to be able to stop that. And first of all, I don't believe that his dick was in his pocket, right? I don't think he was like curving around his thigh there. That's something. So yeah, I don't think there's any issue there. And you can see this is a person who at every single second of the encounter is coming up with an excuse. So here, he's got the Nerf gun, he's coming up with an excuse on that. And of course, that's not a real weapon. That's kind of just funny. But when he's in the car, he's talking about nerve damage to his hands, right? So he's saying he has nerve damage from police handcuffs. Every single second, you're coming up with a potential excuse. And honestly, the police treated him better than they should have. They treated him better than they should have. They would have like 100%. I mean, they could have 100% just said, shut the fuck up, and tossed him in the car. But they actually took it easy on him here. You can see when they were strapping him in, they didn't fucking slam him in the car. They didn't punch him in the face. Oh yeah. And MM asked a good question here. Thank you. This is a good legal question. So it's not the second factor of a Terry stop. Yes. So a Terry stop is when they stop somebody and you pat them down. That is because they're armed. But once again, this is a Terry stop. It's a little bit different of a situation. This is a guy who's already committed a potential act of violence, right? Disorderly conduct. So they have reason to believe that he might be violent again. They have more probable, reasonable cause. It's more reasonable, right? They have more probable cause to search the guy, to pat him down for a safety check. So I think this is absolutely, in this case, because of the nature of the crime that he's alleged of committing, I think it's definitely reasonable to pat him down in this case. But yes, that's a good point about Terry stops. We should cover that case another time, the Terry stop, just where that comes from. It's a very interesting case. Okay, so the handcuffs, right? Then he talks about the language. Okay, please do not refer to me as sir, right? And he talks about that being a hail crime. If you fail to do that, it is an act of intentional bigotry. Okay, so I want to bring up something here. This is the good point about it. Is that this is complete bullshit. That is not yet. It is not yet. Let me be very clear. It is not yet a crime to call somebody sir or ma'am, and when they're non-binary or another gender. However, there are people wanting to pass laws in the United States to make that a crime. Let me say it again. This use of a pronoun, this is not yet a crime, but there are people wanting to pass this as a law in the United States to make this officer's behavior illegal. And by the way, if it was, Ezra would likely get off here. He'd likely get off scot-free, all because a wrong pronoun was used. Do you guys think that's just? What do you guys think in the chat? Would that be just if Ezra walked free of all of his crimes just because somebody used a wrong pronoun on him? Would that be fair? What and beyond that, should the police department have to pay damages? Because under the proposed laws that are out there, well, they would have to pay damages. And by the way, laws like on the federal level, for example, the Equality Act, that law, if passed, would make what was said here illegal. And I mean, that's just straight up. Now, a lot of people say, oh, it's just for equal treatment. No. It is about criminalizing this sort of interaction. And if you don't use the desired pronouns, that's it. So very, very interesting for future potential laws. Daniel Chapman says his main objection to the touching was the cop was of legal age. Cool ad for Nerf, though. I don't know if Nerf wants Ezra Miller as their spokesperson. Big Otree was the name of my Big Otree. Oh, Big Otree. I got it. Was the name of my fat Irish aunt. I like it. So I see you guys saying hell no in the chat as to whether or not that should be illegal. Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, so I mean, let's see, Marco agreeing. Stufu, call lawyer, be nice to everyone. Yeah, guys, that's the number one thing that gets you out. I'll say the number one thing that gets you out with police, the number one way to get off, and is to be fucking nice, be a fucking normal human who respects everybody, right? And generally, if you treat people well, they're going to treat you well back. But stay silent but polite. You can just keep the interaction short and polite. And that's always how I advocate. Polite, offer the information that is requested and nothing else. And volunteer nothing, right? Volunteer nothing. So intentional bigotry. Yeah, that's not a thing. All right. So let's get over to the Judaism. Sacred religious material. And I think it says Judaism right here, right? Right. I think it's like right about here. He says Judaism. It's like right to Judaism, right? Judaism, right? So apparently he's carrying sacred Jewish texts. I don't know how the Jewish faith takes with his transgenderism, but I don't know what the fuck he would be carrying that's sacred. No clue. No clue. Beads. I hope they're not the type that you insert through the rear. But that being said, if he had those in his possession and they're confiscating those, there's no issue with that. Nothing illegal with that. Nothing illegal whatsoever. So honestly, Ezra Miller overall, crazy interaction, but it shows you how people like that will try to abuse the system. And if we allow people like Ezra Miller to have their way, they will abuse the legal system. They will abuse those laws, and they will get out of jail for free.